y'all. Welcome back to 7 Days of Daily Growth with Nay. Y'all, so honestly, my head is kind of somewhere else. And sorry, my best friend's at work, so if you hear her in the background, sorry. I already told her that I was going to keep shooting this video, whether y'all hear her or not. So, I'm gonna just go ahead and get started. And like I was about to say, my head, y'all, I'm gonna be real honest with y'all because that's what this is. You know, me being my authentic and true self. And right now, my head is like, I got a lot on my mind right now. But I'm going to push through it, and I'm gonna get this video done, and I'm gonna get the rest of my day done. And I hope you all do the same. Like, for real, it's so much going on today that sometimes you just don't know. But what you do know is all you know. So just keep pushing, keep going, no matter what. And like I said, sorry if y'all hear my best friend, but we're gonna keep going. So on Thursdays, we show gratitude, y'all. Gratitude. Gratitude means to be grateful and thankful. And when I looked up the definition last night, because again, I know what it means to show gratitude, but sometimes I like to definitely get the definition, and I didn't have the definition again. So, and I'm comfortable today too, y'all. Talking to y'all, I'm real comfortable, and I'm thirsty. So if I take a drink of water, I'll probably edit it out. Yeah, but yeah. So I was like, let the folks know what gratitude is. And so when I got that first definition, I was like, okay, we know that. So then I got another one, and well, no, I was like, to be grateful. Okay, facts. So what does grateful mean? Grateful means being appreciative of benefits received. And I'm gonna be truthful and say that one, that was the only definition I liked, and two, I didn't really like the definition so much. Appreciative of benefits received. When you think of benefits, you know benefits mean, beneficial is good for you, is good to you. But I hate to use it along with gratitude. I don't know why. That's just me, but I am, because then I also thought about it like, when you're showing gratitude, you are being thankful for why that something or that person is beneficial to you. But hopefully that the benefits are good and they're healthy and the intentions behind it are good. And so I guess it just depends on how you look at it, of course, always. So as I said, on Thursdays we show gratitude. I have a gratitude jar. I've been having it for months now, even before this YouTube channel was thought of. I had this gratitude journal because, of course, as you know, I've been on my journey for almost 2 years now. And a part of my journey has been learning to practice showing gratitude. So a part of being on my journey was learning and practicing gratitude. And so I'm gonna put that down, because if not, my anxiety is gonna mess with it, want to mess with it. And so gratitude was and is something I'm still working on, but I can say now that gratitude is so much easier for me, so much. It has made my journey so much better. It feels great to be able to be thankful for the little things, and I can't wait to get more into my channel because I have so much in store, and so much that you probably will be surprised, like, dang, how can you be even thankful for that? But I'm gonna let you know how. And it's not just a person, it's things too. We can be thankful for literally any and everything, anybody. So as I mentioned, I've had my gratitude jar around for a long time now. And so I know when I made my post earlier today, because I'm doing my video this evening, And so, good evening. Sorry, I don't think I said that yet. Good evening, y'all. But I hope everything is going good. Hope y'all been having a blessed day. But when I posted my post this morning about my video dropping tonight, my gratitude video, I had already let you guys know that I would be talking about my dad. He gets the first part on Gratitude Thursdays by default. Because guess what? I also have a journal. I was already practicing gratitude. I had to go look for my book. This is my book, Finding Gratitude, Simple Ideas That Can Change Your Life. Rebecca Lip and Nicole Perry. They're also founders of Awesome Incorporated. So, of course, when I first started out practicing gratitude, I was like, how can I practice gratitude? And then I came across this book at 5 and Below. And I was like, well, I got so much books. I got so much going on. How can I truly practice gratitude using this book? Because it gives you words and then it gives you their reasons behind being grateful. And so instead of reading this whole book, I just went through and got everything that they had in this book to be grateful for, and I added it to my jar. And then I started picking out things from the jar, like one thing, one word, and then I would journal about it in my journal. And that's how I started to practice gratitude. And then it made it easier for me to just practice it out loud and practice it towards other people. So it was very helpful. And I was supposed to journal about my dad months ago. So yeah. And I haven't did my gratitude journal in a while, and that's because I verbally do it now. Like, I'm so in tune, and I'm such a thankful person, truthfully, in my life right now in this season. So I more so just say thank you so much, especially to God. Like, thank you God, like all the time, especially in prayer, because sometimes that's all I can say, for real. So yeah, I was supposed to journal about my dad and why I'm grateful for him for almost two or 3 months now. Then I was like, I'm gonna just send him a text. And I have sent out texts. I sent out texts to my family in the group chat, but I haven't done it in a while. I think I did it, like, it's been a minute. Not that long, but it's been a minute. And so, yes, I never got around to actually journaling my gratitude for my dad in my gratitude journal. And so that is why he gets the first spot tonight. I just wanted to give backstory by default, because I needed to go ahead and do his so I can pull another one. Every Thursday, I will give you the definition, because hey, some of y'all might join me and not go back and watch this video. And so, you know, if you catch on the second week or the third week or 2 months from now, you'll get the definition. And then I give 3 reasons why I am grateful for that person or that thing that I chose for that Thursday. The first reason I'm showing gratitude to my dad, Robert. People know him as Buggy, my dad. He has a huge heart. And it's something that I see in him, and I see it in myself, so I know I get my heart from my dad. I've learned that. His heart, he will do anything for the people he loves. He will. He might not drop everything at the moment, or he might get somebody else to do it, but it's gonna get done. He's gonna do it. He has the biggest heart. I feel like he is the heart of our family. We all look up to him. We all love him. And I just feel like my dad is everybody's dog in the family, you know, like, He might make us all mad, but I feel like he's our rock, you know? And you have to have a good heart to be somebody's rock. You have to. Because how could you not, you know? So, especially since my granddad's passed, you know, somebody has to keep it all together. And although some might not think that, I think he's the rock of our family. He might not even think that, but I see it. He goes hard for his family. We all go hard for each other, but my dad definitely goes hard for the ones he loves, and he don't play about the ones he loves, and he gonna take care of the ones he loves, even if he gonna fuss about it, because he loves to fuss and he loves to give a lecture, but he gonna make sure we good. He gonna make sure that nobody's going without, you know. So I appreciate that for him. I thank him for that, because not only does he show his heart towards me, he shows his heart towards everybody. And I see that with his friends. I just see it with the way he moves. Like I'm observant, so I've always watched my parents move since I could comprehend, I could understand. So I know a lot, I've seen a lot, I have observed a lot, and one thing I have definitely observed is that my dad definitely has a big heart. And when I said for the ones he loved, I didn't just mean his family, like with his friends too. From what I've seen, I can only speak on what I know. And from what I know, don't nobody got a heart like my dad. Y'all, I love my dad. One thing about it, we don't have, like, one thing I never really thought about so much was having that daddy-daughter bond, because I knew my dad. And for me, I appreciated that. Like, even if he couldn't be around 24/7, I knew who he was, and I always felt his love no matter what. And I was okay with it. Like, I was good with it. Like, I know my dad loves me. I know my dad, and that's what's important to me. I felt his love. Excuse me. I felt his love even if it wasn't always shown in the physical, you know. So to me, I was okay with it. I never really tried to compare our relationship to other people's relationships with their dads, unless I was like watching a movie. Sometimes I would see the daddy-daughter dynamic, and it would kind of be hurtful, because who doesn't want their dad to be like their best friend, their go-to, the one that like they can sit on his lap and, you know, just have that emotional bond there, that emotional connection. You know, who doesn't want that from any parent? You get what I'm saying? And so sometimes it would be like that for me, like, you know, kind of like I wish he was more like my best friend, but I didn't grow up in a household with him, so of course that wasn't going to come. But the fact that I was able to be around him, my aunts and my uncles, my grandmother, you know, that sufficed. That was okay with me. That filled any hole that would have been empty if I never would have known him. You get what I'm saying? So I'm grateful that I like that I had him, definitely. So that's why I've never really cared to have that relationship with him. But when you're growing and you're healing, you learn a lot, and you start to see more, and you reflect more. And for me, that was a thing for me. Like, dad, he was a provider, but not emotionally. He wasn't emotionally there or physically there. So that was something I had to work through as an adult, because I kind of ignored it as a kid, and I kind of put him on a pedestal, and that really wasn't right, because I favored him a lot more, you know. And it was also just because, like, I felt that love there, like, I felt it. And I knew, I don't care, I, like, know my daddy would do anything for me. So that's why I was, like, so grateful. Like, really just grateful, very grateful. The journey just allowed me to learn a lot and release a lot and reflect a lot. And it just ended me up with, what I've been hitting on for the past, since I started, which is I didn't grow up with parents that talked. So there's not much that I know about my dad or knew about my dad, really, because they don't talk. He doesn't talk. My mom doesn't talk. People don't talk. Black people don't talk. And so, as I mentioned, I only knew what I could observe, when I could comprehend, at an age when I could comprehend things and understand things. Even if people think you're too young, you're not too young to, like, children aren't stupid. When we get to that certain age, we know. And so I had to realize, like, my dad definitely had a life before I was born. He was a teenager, he was a kid. I don't know the things that he had to endure growing up as a child and a teenager and as a young adult and as an adult. You know what I'm saying? And so I couldn't hold anything against him about not being that best friend, that read me a bedtime story, that sit on the lap, that let me tell you about this dude I'm dating, let me tell you about my first heartbreak. I couldn't be sad about stuff like that anymore. And I had to move forward, and I had to just love him for who he was. I had to love him where we're at now. And we've been spending a lot of time together, and lately, me and my dad, when I go back home, and I can tell right here lately that he's definitely opening up and talking more. And I'm gonna talk about that a little later. But we definitely are growing a bond that I've always wanted, and it's something that I feel like we're easing into. It has to be eased into, especially for me, because when it comes to not being used to something, I can't fake anything, not even with my parents. So it's awkward for me to talk to my dad because we never really talked. So I've grown into, like, a socially awkward person as an adult, and so sometimes I'm frozen when we're together, because I don't know what to say. And then my mindset is so different that I don't want to be wanting to offend nobody. I like to keep my opinion and my thoughts to myself, especially if nobody asked, for the most part. So, because that's how I live my life. If I didn't ask, I don't care about what you think. So for me, it's like we're easing into that relationship, and like I said, it also is on me to become more comfortable with that type of relationship between us. So I'm definitely just grateful that my dad is who he is overall, and that his heart is, like, the biggest. I love that about him. I love that. That's my favorite part about my dad. Because, like I said, I see his big heart. I see when it shows, and it makes me smile. I love my dad, y'all. I could really just sit here and smile because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a daddy's girl, definitely. Even if we, like, and I always say that, and I don't care if we never been best friends growing up. I don't care if he's never, you know, been to a volleyball game or et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. Like, my dad's just my dog. I feel like it's just because of who he is. Like, as a person, his heart, I can't help but to just love my dad. Seriously. I don't care. I'm going to war with God behind my daddy. For real. I don't play about my daddy. I don't. But the second thing, y'all, is that my dad is very, very dependable. And I was kind of touching on that earlier. I call my daddy. He's on it. Even if he gotta be like, hold on, let me figure something out. Let me do this, let me do that. My dad is going to get it done. And he is not perfect by all means. He is not. But it's kind of a good and a bad thing, because when I'm, as far as dating, I look for a man that reminds me of my dad. And I always say that it's not always a good thing, because like I said, we haven't always had the best relationship. You know, he isn't a perfect person, and you know, he has his faults and all this other stuff and blase blase. But the good that I see in my dad is what I want in a man, seriously. You know, his traits. He might not be a perfect man, but the traits he carries, his characteristics, who he is, that part, you know. Because nobody's perfect. Everybody's gonna make mistakes anyway. But just being a good man, you know, a family man, dependable, hardworking, standing on business, you know, giving. He's a giver. My dad will give. He ain't perfect, but he will give. I believe he'll give you the shirt off his back, for real. So I love how he's dependable. Like, I'm gonna be real, when I got in high school, that's when I really started to really lean on my dad, you know, because he was raised by moms in a single home. So she did a lot, but I feel like once I turned 17, I was about to graduate, she was like, yeah, I did my job. So, you know, I ended up having to get a job and stuff like that. Like, life started for me at 17, senior year. Second semester, about to get out of there, life had just started. Life had just begun for me. I was just about to be 18 because I graduated when I was 17. So, you know, in a way, I kind of felt thrown to the wolves, but at the same time, you know, I was about to become an adult, but I didn't know much. I didn't know much about what I was about to get myself into as far as life. You feel me? I wasn't taught much. Ain't nobody really teach me nothing. I really taught myself everything I know. I know one time my little cousin put on social media, like, people do what they supposed to do as a parent and they hold it over your head. That stuff you're supposed to do anyway, because you're my parent. There's more you have to do for a child than just provide, and that goes for both parents. And so I think once I graduated, that's when I really started to depend on my daddy, for a lot of things. Like, I called him so much, y'all. I hadn't really asked him for much up until I got out of high school, and so I felt like it was well deserved. But anyway, I was thankful that every time I did ask, because I don't like asking for help either. I kind of grew into that phase after high school too. because when you ask for help, people think you're not doing what you're supposed to do. But anyway, I was grateful that I knew I could call him when I needed anything, because like I said, I didn't know much. I didn't know what I was doing, what I was getting myself into. Blase, just people think I was moving fast, but really that wasn't even it. That's something else that I had to tell my dad one time. Like, I was like, you were not living in this household with me. You don't know why I did the things I did when I left and went to college, and why I had to move how I moved since I left my mom's house at 18 when I went to college. So I hated to ask for help, but I knew and I learned that there was nothing that my dad would not do for me. If I didn't know then, I knew in those moments that my dad had my back, and he expressed that. He let me know that. So I'm thankful to have a dependable dad. I'm grateful that I can call on him for anything, for help. It doesn't matter. If I need a place to stay right now, I know I could go stay with my dad. I don't, but I'm just saying, I'm thankful that I can call him. I'm thankful to have him. One thing I was speaking on social media one time was that be grateful for the people and the family members you have in your life right now, because some people don't even get to experience those relationships. Some people don't have a grandmother. Some people don't have a dad. Some people don't have a mom. So God knows if you do, even if they make you mad, just as I was speaking on about acceptance, learn how to keep your distance, learn how to set boundaries. But y'all definitely be grateful for the people that you do still have, that you have in your life, because not everybody gets to, sisters, brothers, it doesn't matter. Not everybody gets to experience those type of relationships. So be grateful. Be grateful that you got a dad to call on, a grandma to hug, a mama to kiss. For real. Dead serious. That's why I'm big on, because I look around and I know some people around me don't have that. And I'm sitting here, wouldn't know what to do if I was in that position. So I can't do nothing but count my blessings. I can't do nothing but be grateful. And I haven't always been an appreciative child, but I'm grateful. I'm learning to be more grateful. I'm learning to, realize that, they also were once like me, a child, a teen, a young adult. They also had to go through what they had to go through that I know nothing about. So I had to learn to show them grace. And then, forgiveness, grace, and then gratitude, more appreciation, more spending time with them, more just loving them. And when I say them, I mean both my parents, even though this is about my dad, but still. And not just them, grandparents too. Just valuing the family relationships, the family bonds that you do have. I keep looking up, sorry, I have Janae playing in the background, so I keep sneaking peeks at her. But yeah, I am grateful for my dad and that I can depend on him. Because I wouldn't know, y'all, I wouldn't be, my dad has helped me a lot, and I'm grateful. I wouldn't be where I am without my daddy, for real. No cap. And last but not least, he is open and he's honest with me. I may not always want to hear it. I also know he isn't always right. But he takes the time to talk and share his thoughts with me. And I mentioned earlier my dad, wasn't a talker. We didn't really talk. But I feel like my dad hasn't really ever tried to hide anything either. You know what I'm saying? And even more so now in this season, he just be talking, and I just love it. I be listening, and I can see so much in my dad, and it just makes me happy. You know, I can see, I can see that I have a lot of him in me, and I actually like that. I actually like that for real. And I'm talking about he's not always right. He thinks he's a know-it-all. So sometimes you can't tell my dad anything. He's one of the people I feel like is stuck in his ways. I don't care. I do. I feel like he needs to, get out of that and try to learn more and try to expand his mind a little bit more. And I know it can be done because my dad is very intelligent. He's very smart and he's very wise. Even if he might not think so, but he thinks so. But I think so because, like I said, when I'm around people, and I've been around my dad for ever, all my life, observing gets you far, And one thing I know is that there's nothing he wouldn't hide from me, but I also know that when you don't have that relationship with your kids, that type of bond with your kids, it is hard to build one. It is hard to say, dang, well, I don't even really be with my kids, blase. How can I change that? It's hard to change that. It's hard to change being a better person for your children. But he's somebody that's willing to be a better man for his children, all 12 of us, 13, so many. I say 13 because my brothers have a little sister that I feel like is, he loves her just as he loves the kids he made. So she's our little sister. That's just, and that's another thing about his heart. I love it. And he really has 10 kids, but one of my brothers he has twin brothers and a little sister. So we have 3 bonus kids. So that makes 13, and they are just as much as my brothers and sister, as the rest of them are. No love different, no love lost. It's all there. Blood or no blood, do anything for them. He'll do anything for them. So that's just that. And so, as I was saying, I don't think there's anything he would hide. He is who he is, and I feel like he's learning to be that man, that better person for his kids, especially right now in this time. He's always worked hard, and especially ever since he met his wife, he has definitely been better as a family man. But I feel like now he definitely is trying really hard to be a better man for his kids, build relationships with his kids, and I love that for him. And like I said, we've been spending a lot of time together, me and him solo, and I just love when we get to talking, or when he gets to talking about anything. And right here lately, I haven't really been able to really talk to him how I want to, but I definitely want to continue to dig deeper into my dad, because I can ask him questions and he'll tell me, or he'll just volunteer stuff sometimes that I didn't even ask for, and we'll get to talking. And sometimes I don't know if he's like hitting for my advice or not. I don't know, but I just listen because I'm a good listener. Well, when I want to be, but I give off good listening vibes. I am a good listener, but sometimes I can be bad at it. So I just appreciate and I'm thankful of how open and honest he's becoming. Let's put it that way. Because I want to know more about my parents. I want them to open up to me and literally tell me everything, whatever. I don't care. Tell me how crazy you were. Tell me everything. Tell me how you used to get in trouble. Tell me how you used to get beatings. I want to know those things, but it's not something I force. Like, I feel like it's something that should be talked about at an earlier age than 25. But that's just life. That's Black communities. That's Black household energy. So I don't force anything on my parents, but I'm always gonna be open and willing to talk about stuff. I want to know, but whenever they're ready, whenever they want to. But also, as I'm speaking, I'm like, well, ask questions. But for me, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie. It's so many questions I have, but I've came to realization that it's not even them, it's me. Because at first I was like, well, I don't want to ask questions and like make anybody upset or offend anybody. But also, for some of my family members, I think it's some stuff that I don't think I want to hear. Like, I'm ready to hear. Like, I don't want to be the one in there crying and just, So I also kind of refrain from asking questions. I stop myself because it's like, am I ready to hear your story? Am I prepared for that? So shout out to my dad. I didn't want to really make this long. I know it was kind of everywhere because I think I'm everywhere today. But honestly, I'm giving you me, because I still got up here and I still came and gave y'all my best self. And I gave y'all exactly what I told y'all I was going to give y'all. I showed my dad gratitude. I gave you guys 3 reasons why I'm thankful for my dad. His heart, because I can depend on him, and because he's becoming more open and honest in our daddy-daughter relationship, and I enjoy it and I love that. I love that for us because he's definitely making it easier for me to be more open with him and honest with him and releasing that fear and anxiety behind, our relationship dynamic. And so I love you, Dad. He's not a big internet person, but if he watches this, if he doesn't, it doesn't really make me any, never mind. But I love you. I love my dad, as I've mentioned 1,000 times. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. He's a great man. He ain't perfect, but he's a trying man. And he's my everything. He's my whole heart. Y'all, he is. And like I said, you have to value family relationships because, and y'all didn't even hear me say because life is short. No, because just think about how some people don't even have that. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't. God bless you all, for real, that don't have those certain relationships, that aren't able to experience certain kinds of family relationships, familial relationships, because people are absent or gone from this life, or just not there because they don't want to be there, which sucks because all humans are great. Y'all deserve that love from our parents, but God's plan. So don't ever think because someone isn't in your life, as far as because they're alive and they don't want to be there, don't ever think that's your fault. It has everything to do with them and nothing to do with you. Keep going, keep striving, keep proving, keep showing that God made you, God created you. He just gave you your parents, really. So That's Gratitude Thursday. To be thankful, to appreciate the benefits received. I appreciate the love I feel from my dad. I appreciate the fact that I can depend on him. I appreciate his heart because it warms my heart the most. The fact that I know and have observed that my dad has the biggest heart, it warms my heart because that lets me know that regardless of anything, I don't care. He's a good man because he has a good heart. He's human, you know. I appreciate him being in my life because he could have skipped out. Even if he wasn't around growing up, he made sure we was good at grandma's house. He made sure we had babysitters, you know. Hey, I'm gonna run the streets, but y'all good at grandma's house. Y'all gonna eat. Y'all gonna be warm. Y'all got somewhere to sleep. Y'all surrounded by love. My mom might not be the nicest, but y'all good, you know. So I'm thankful. Like, God, thank you. I have a great dad, and I don't not wish anything was different as far as our relationship because it has allowed me to be where I am right now, to see that he isn't perfect, that he's only human, that he has stuff that he hasn't endured before I was even thought of, so I can forgive him for not being there emotionally or mentally at times or physically, because you're still here today. He's still here now as a 25-year-old adult who's growing and developing and learning. She knows that, and she understands, and she gets it, and she doesn't care because I love my dad. Dior Banks, Lil Durk. But seriously though, that's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog for real. And I'm grateful. That's my everything. And I'm at a point in my life where I'm just thankful that we can be best friends now. That we have time to be best friends now. That we have time to be open with each other now. That we have time to build a better daddy-daughter relationship now. That we have time to grow with each other. That we have time to get to know each other. We have time to talk. So, yeah. That is, I thought I smelled something burning. That is all I have for you guys. Seriously. But that is all I have for you guys. I love you guys. Y'all have a blessed, beautiful Thursday evening. We are almost done with the week. It is almost Friday. Amen. 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 It is almost Friday. Y'all have a good night. Get your goals done. Get your goals done. Make sure you're saying your affirmations, building yourself up. Make sure you're journaling or thinking about your dreams. And make sure you show somebody gratitude today. It doesn't matter who it is. Get you a gratitude jar or get you a book. Find anything. Google how to practice, how you can start practicing gratitude. But really, just wake up and say thank you every day. All you gotta do is say thank you. Thank you, God, or whatever you believe in. Thank you. Thank you for life. Thank you for my family. Send a text. It don't gotta be to your whole family. Send a text randomly to anybody. Friends, it don't matter. Just say thank you. I appreciate you for what you do. I appreciate the role you play in my life. Thank you. It's gonna go a long way, trust me. Because even if you don't get a physical or material benefit behind it, your heart just feels better. It feels lighter. it gets filled with love when you show gratitude, when you're just thankful, when you're just grateful, when you're just blessed. But see you guys tomorrow.